If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your favorite words I will choke.
Happy Friday, football frenzy to everyone in the sports universe. It is September the 9th, 2022. This is the AM Drive on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook pages. Good morning to all. For Aaron Crouch, I am Michael Carvello saying, Aaron, what's up, man? Wide awake, huh?
I'm here. I'm awake. Someone was running late for a very important date, and that someone was you.
Ooh. Don't tell him, man. Don't tell him. No, I'm kidding. Hey, maybe because I was watching the game last night. You think that was why?
No, I don't think that was why.
Oh, boring. Listen, man, the Bills, they beat the Rams, and it was a pretty good beatdown, I'd say. Josh Allen, of course, is the talk and the toast of the town right now because he's the quarterback on the winning team. But to me, this mainly started whenever the Bills' defensive line just cooked the Rams' offensive line. Like, I couldn't tell. It looked like the Bills' defense was the story of the night for me.
Well, the Bills' defense is definitely, no slouch adding Von Miller. No Tre'Davious White last night, but they were the number one scoring defense last year, and they're proving, that they're up to the task again this year. Like, it's weird. I can't think of all the opening games offhand, but I can't remember an opening game where the defending Super Bowl champion hosted the favorites to win it all that year. Like, I don't remember that ever really being a thing. Like, I know that the Chiefs and Patriots played a couple times, I think, on the opening games and stuff like that. But, like, you could definitely tell that Josh Allen and the Bills were ready to come out and show a statement win.
Yes.
And, of course, in the NFL here, we have tons of overreaction. Now, look, our boy Sammy Action, he posted on Facebook that, they may live up to the hype this year. And that may be true. That's not a knock on Sammy Action. But, like, let's just enjoy one game in the 272 that we're about to watch. Do I think LA is as bad as they looked last night? No. Do I think it's troubling how they couldn't get Allen Robinson or Cam Akers involved in this game at all? Yes, I think that's a little troubling. Do I think Buffalo is going to be a tough beat every single week and also in the playoffs? Yes. Do I think they are beatable? Yes. So let's just take game one of 272 at face value of what it is. Buffalo came out ready to beat the brakes off of somebody, and they did. And the Rams had a little bit of a hangover.
Are you surprised? I'll ask this question, and then we can move on. Are you surprised that a Sean McVay coach team came out so unprepared? Or do you think it was more of the roster issues? Because they obviously had some holes in obviously the offensive line and even the defense, minus Von Miller. I don't know if Von Miller was that big of a loss, but like, holy crap.
So, the question really is Sean McVay's never been sub 500 in his career with the Rams. Like, I know it's 0-1. It's not, a huge, deal, but like,
right.
Think about that. Like, he's never lost an opening game, even with Jared Goff. So you look at this, opener, and I wonder if Sean McVay even cares they lost the game. They were celebrating. No, I know that sounds bad, but I'm just saying they were celebrating. He almost retired and went to the booth. Aaron Donald almost retired. It almost feels like this is kind of what I was wondering. Now, I still have the Rams making the playoffs, but I was kind of wondering if Matt Stafford got his. He's probably certified his Hall of Fame status, although I don't agree with it. He's probably certified his place in Canton. Aaron Donald, what more does this guy need to do? And he just got paid. He's still the best. He showed it. I think he had, 1.5 sacks yesterday? I don't think they're too mad about losing this game. Now, in the grand scheme of things, with 17 games in the NFC West, it's probably a little bit detrimental. We'll see what comes, but it's not like Jacksonville came in and beat them.
Right.
It's not like Jacksonville came in and handed them 31-10 loss. Like, I think ultimately, once they probably went down 24-10, they were probably just done.
Yeah, and people are going to try to do the Stafford shoulder thing. I'm not with it.
Well, it's his elbow. He's definitely hurt. You could definitely see he missed a lot of receivers.
Yeah.
He did not look good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we've seen Stafford play this type of game many, many times in the past. But, like, not only did he not look good, it's a testament to how good Cooper Kupp is. For him to still have 130 yards receiving and a touchdown or something, whatever it was, something close to that. Pretty damn impressed. Like, Cooper Kupp, I mean, I know I said at the beginning of last year, like, I think he's the best receiver in the league. But it's just a testament to how, in all of this poo-poo, Cooper Kupp is just always insanely amazing.
Yeah. I feel like, all the stars were incredible, but I feel like it's time. I mean, obviously, we're not going to do a commercial now, so let's do it. Let's get to these games.
All right, let's do it.
Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under is 46.5. Aaron, this is one of your favorite games of the week, man.
It is. I mean, I'm interested to see, all the hype surrounding Miami. They get a home game against, obviously, a nemesis, a rival. These are the weeks of the season where Tom Brady would go down there and it would just be way too hot for him. And Miami would always steal victories and all this stuff. But this game is more about, what we're going to see from Miami this year. And if Miami doesn't perform well, or God forbid even loses this game, like, you understand that, like, there's nobody behind Tua. Like, last year there was Jacoby, and then the year before that, I think there was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, this is Tua time. And I hate to use that expression, but, like, they boosted the core, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. He's got no excuses this year. However, this is a year where I think everybody's so down on the Patriots. I know that I've even bet them to miss the playoffs this year. This is a sneaky game that I feel like they might just walk up and sneak right up underneath them and beat them. But early thoughts on mine here with the lean is I kind of like the Pats catching that hook on the road. So it's just such an ugly game. Like, nothing really theoretically has gone right for New England this preseason or this offseason. But, you never count out Bill Belichick. Never count out Bill Belichick. And week one, I know there's a revenge factor to Devontae Parker. That doesn't really matter to me. But I'm curious to see, a brand new coach opening up with all of these weapons against maybe the best coach that ever coached the game.
I like the under 46.5 for the reasons you just said. Because let's say the Dolphins do find a way to win this game. I've been wanting to think the Dolphins are going to win because I have in the back of my mind that Bill Belichick does exist, that we don't really know what the Patriots offense is. I just see an ugly muck it up kind of game. So I'm going to go under 46.5 as my lead in this game.
Yeah, I mean, your under 46 looks like two planned proposals in this. It's either close, low-scoring, 17-16 kind of game, which I think is the exact score they had last year in week one, or it's 31-10 Dolphins win.
There you go.
I don't see a Pats blowout here.
I don't either. Steelers, Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals are 7-point home favorites against your boy Mitchell Trubisky.
My boy, huh?
Right. Okay. Well, my boy. Come on. It's our boy. How about that? Aaron's like, no. 44.5 is the total here. Aaron, I put too much faith in Trubisky. I like Najee Harris. I think the Steelers, while I do think they're going to be under their win total, I do think they're going to ultimately lose this game. I like the over. I think both teams, don't the Bills can score a lot more? Yes. But do I also think the Steelers can score enough? Absolutely. We'll go over 44.5.
Yeah, so this game almost made the AM drive for me.
Woo!
AM drive 5. I like the Steelers catching the touchdown here. Joe Burrow's had some issues in the offseason, the appendix, blah, 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 this and that. Everybody's in love with the Bengals again, which, I mean, I understand. I get it. It's a team that really looks good. They addressed the weakness that kept them from a Super Bowl, theoretically, last season. But I just think this division dogs, you talk about full motivation. It's Mitchell Trubisky's, job, and he's got a first round pick beating down his neck. Do I think they're going to win the game? No, I don't think the Steelers are going to win the game here. But this, like I said, this game almost snuck into my top 5. If Trubisky can cure the accuracy issues, like like I told you, that's my only really knock on Trubisky. I think he can run. I think he can definitely facilitate a game. I don't know if he can win you a game, but I definitely think he if he can keep the accuracy under control, he can keep you in games. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he'll make 7 out of 10 throws, but he needs to make those extra 3 to win you a game.
Well, I'm fine with him. I'm fine with him not making the 3. I'm fine with him just not throwing to the other team on those three throws. So that's a situation here. I mean, Mike Tomlin obviously knows what he's doing here, going with Trubisky, giving the rookie a chance to, sit and learn. For me, I think this is one of those this whole division is going to be just knockdown, drag out games, in my opinion. And I'm gonna take the dog in this one, even though it's on the road. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh aren't terribly far away from each other, but 3-4 hours. So
those two are ugly. They always play ugly. I don't know what it is. These teams do not like each other. So
yeah, I mean, I know Pittsburgh. They beat the brakes off Pittsburgh last year. It's crazy to think that I think Mitchell Trubisky is definitely an upgrade over last year's Ben Roethlisberger.
I agree with that. Although, obviously I do. So, is what it is. Let's move
on. Not career Big Ben, but just last year.
I know last year. That's what you said. Yeah. Saints, your New Orleans Saints, closet Saints. James Winston, is he playing this game, right?
As far as I know, yeah. I haven't heard anything to the evidence to the other side there.
Michael Thomas, by the way, I've got him in one of my fantasy teams. He hasn't been practicing this week too much, so that's a concern for him. But it is the Saints on the road against the Falcons. Saints are 6-point favorites, and the total is at 43. Aaron, I know what I'm going with here, but give me some help for the Falcons here.
The hope for the Falcons is that Marcus Mariota picks up kind of where he left off in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Serviceable quarterback. Can utilize his feet to be able to keep you in and subsequently win games. He's back with Arthur Smith, who was his offensive coordinator last season. He played in Tennessee.
I was wondering where that guy came from.
I actually don't think this is just a runaway route, although I do think the Saints can probably win this game by 7 to 10 points. Like I said, division dog at home catching more than 3 points. It's tough for me to even lean on the road favorites, especially in week 1. I'm not a big road favorites guy, so I would probably I'm not going to bet this game, but I'd probably be in the realm of Falcons winning, losing this game by about 4 points.
I've got the under 43. I believe I just gave away an drive 5 pick, but yeah,
that's tough because these two teams the Saints are just weapons galore. I mean, you're hard pressed to see that these guys don't score 4 touchdowns in this game, and I think the Falcons can get 17-ish points in this spot. 17 to 24 points. I don't like the under on that one for sure, but I definitely think that the Falcons, the home dog catching a touchdown, might be the way to go. And see if you can get that pounded up before Sunday to 6.5, 7. And if you like the Falcons, see if that gets pounded up to on the Saints money.
I don't. How about this Panthers and Browns game? Is that a pick 'em all of a sudden? I thought the Panthers were like 2.5-point favorites at one point. I could have sworn. The total's at 42. I don't like either side of that. But this one just made my AM drive 5 because I gave away the last one, and I actually wanted to I want this one to replace something, so it has replaced my last pick I just gave. So
Yeah, this one's tough because it's like, okay, you're right. I mean, the Panthers come in, they're at home against the Browns team with no Deshaun Watson. We've talked about Jacoby Brissett for the last 2 years on how he's serviceable but not great. But you look at this team around Jacoby Brissett and still have Nick Chubb, still have Kareem Hunt. Amari Cooper has moved into the WR1 role. And their defense. I mean, they're bringing back 9 of 11 starters from last year from a defense that was, I believe, top 5 defensively. And of course, you have, bookend Clowney and Myles Garrett here at this point. Jadeveon Clowney, if he could be half of what Myles Garrett is, that's a pretty formidable tandem. That being said, I understand Baker Mayfield wants to beat the brakes off this Browns team. Don't get me wrong. I understand the motivation, and he's made that pretty clear. I just don't know if this team is still, if they're good. I know the Panthers, I've told you, my dark horse team, if balls bounce the right way, if they stay healthy. On paper, you would think the Panthers are better than the Browns on the offensive side of the ball, but what are we going to make of Baker Mayfield? I think ultimately the Panthers would win this game. If I'm leaning, I'm probably leaning towards the home team just winning this game ugly, but this might be an ugly game. Really ugly game.
Do you think under 42?
No, and when I say ugly, I don't mean it's necessarily defensive struggle, or offensive struggle, I guess, but I just mean I don't think either team is going to pull away. I think the pick'em line is right on it. Just because, a lot of people are well, Baker's going to get revenge on his old team. Well, that might be all fun and dandy, but that doesn't mean anything to me. That's still a tough defense that he had to go up against in practice. The last we saw of Baker was the shoulder issues. If he's healthy, I think Carolina's probably the better team. But does it mean I want to really be backing him in this spot? I don't think so. This game's a pure layoff for me. What would the Browns? So you're basically saying on a neutral field, this Browns team with Jacoby Brissett is a better team. That's what Vegas is saying. I don't necessarily agree with that. So why do I want to be behind the 8 ball? And take the Panthers in a game where they're Vegas doesn't believe they're the better team, even on their own field.
I don't believe that, but we'll see my pick 'em.
Okay.
Why don't you tell people about Fanatics and what to do?
All right, it's very simple. Fanatics. You go to mikeandaarondrive.com, you click that F, you get the best in NFL, MLB merchandise, which are already in full swing. NCAA, I want to tell you guys about this. The Fanatics has definitely come with a breakthrough here. You can literally buy college jerseys from any player that's involved in NIL. I looked this up last night. You can buy a Bryce Young jersey from Fanatics, and it has Young on the back. Now, not every player is involved. I looked for a certain player on a couple of teams, and not every player is involved. Not every team's involved. Hopefully, by the end of the year, they'll be getting a lot of these programs involved. But that's the new cool thing from Fanatics. Go to mikeandaarondrive.com, click the F, and shop Fanatics today for all the NIL merchandise and, of course, every other single league, team, and player that you can think of. They've got it there. Once again, mikeandaarondrive.com, click the F, shop Fanatics, buy until your heart's content, and help out this channel tremendously.
Love it. Let's move on here to the 49ers and the Bears. 49ers are 7.5-point favorites. The total's at 40.5, which means Vegas sees what I see, that the Bears' offensive line is going to be pretty bad. You get a 7.5-point road favorites, and the total's at 40.5. They don't think the Bears are going to score 40 points, and I completely agree.
I don't agree with this one. I feel the Bears might cover this one at home. You're talking about basically, I know he played a couple of games, but basically a rookie quarterback here with San Francisco. You're right. The defense, if they're smothering, the Bears have no chance here. I know the offensive line is bad, but I feel like the Bears can just at home keep this score close, or even a backdoor cover in this spot. I would take the 7.5 points in this one. I'm curious to see. This is another one for me that I feel like is going to get bet up. I think the Bears defense, led by the new coach, however you say his name,
Eberflus.
I think they're going to be competitive in this game. as far as defensively. I don't know if eventually they're going to break down because the offense can't get anywhere, but yeah, give me the Bears plus 7.5, and maybe see if towards the end of the week you can't get 8.5, maybe more.
Big Justin Fields guy over here.
Not in the slightest.
Okay. The Baltimore Ravens rolling out Lamar Jackson against the New York Jets with a coach named Robert Saleh, who I keep telling people is maybe not who we think he is. I don't think Zach Wilson's playing. I'm pretty sure it's Joe Flacco. Well, technically, it should be Mike White, if we look at last season. But the total's at 44.5. Ravens are 7.5-point road favorites. Aaron, I'll just say this game's been in my Android 5 for a long time.
Yeah, this one's weird to me. It feels like Robert Saleh has done nothing this offseason except for become Joe Flacco's biggest cheerleader. Like earlier in the season, he's like, yeah, Joe Flacco should be starting on teams. And now he's going to get the opportunity to start him on his own team. Like, I mean, I don't see this one. To me, this should have been the biggest spread of the week. Like, no Zach Wilson. To me, the Jets are just garbage, I guess. I hate to use that. I hate to use that term for an NFL football team, but the Jets to me just don't show anything that would lead me to believe that the Ravens and Lamar Jackson can't beat this team by 40.
I just want to know who Breece Hall is. But I want to know like why he's so good. Like what are the Jets showing that's going to make this guy incredible?
I mean, he was pretty damn good at Iowa State last year. But you're right. I mean, if they can't block for him, I mean, the offensive line has improved this year over last year.
They lost.
The only reason I really don't want to touch this game is just sticking to my rule of I'm not betting any road favorites in week 1. Does it mean I don't think Baltimore can win by 40? Absolutely I do, but I'll let that just happen without me having a play on it. Now, if I can find a good teaser to put them down to 1, I mean, I think they're definitely winning this game. I mean, I know that I'm high on the Ravens this year. I know they're my Super Bowl pick, but I don't want to be on them coming off of injuries. Who's going to run in the backfield? Is it Dobbins? I think they're going to leave Dobbins out this game. I don't think they need him. I think they'll get fine without him. But I want to see the Ravens play in a game that's almost theoretically their preseason right now because Lamar didn't play. You know, none of the guys really who are going to see significant time played in the preseason. So for me, this is almost like a preseason game for the starters. So I'm going to wait and see because I feel like the Jets and Flacco, like if I'm all over Baltimore, I feel like the Jets and Flacco are just going to find a way to only lose this game by 5.
Let's run through these last 3 early games rather quickly here. Eagles are 4-point favorites against the Lions. The total's at 49. My best bet in this game, I'm a big Eagles guy this year. I'm going to go with the over 49, though. I feel like Lions can have a sneaky good offense. Not saying like that, but I'm just saying for this game, I believe it's week 1. Somebody told me somebody went on Twitter said the Lions were going to win it. I'm like, whoa. I still feel like Dan Campbell's a raw, not very good coach kind of guy, but I can see points being scored in this game.
Were you looking at my Twitter? Because I think the Lions – I didn't post this, but I think the Lions might sneak a victory out in this game. I think this is going to be closer than a lot of people get it. And I'm high on the Eagles as well. I have them over the win total of 9 or 9.5, whatever it is. But this just feels weird. Like, you're right. I mean, this is a pivotal year for Jared Goff's career. He needs to get TJ Hawkinson involved more. Like, TJ Hawkinson needs to be a Travis Kelce type. And I think he can be. Now, is he Travis Kelce? No, probably not. But, I mean, they have one of the best offensive lines in football. They have DeAndre Swift, if he can stay healthy, who's one of the better running backs in football. And, of course, they have St. Brown and DJ Chark. If DJ Chark can come off of injury and get any semblance of himself from 3 years ago, like, I think they have a very decent offense. Now, the defense is probably going to need to come along behind them. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, this is probably this one fell just out of my top 5. It's probably I'm leaning Lions +4 in this one.
I like that. How about the that one works for the Miami Heat.
How is every team my team? You've given me like 3 teams so far.
No,
And no, the Colts are not my team. They're
You
not
must
anybody's
hate
team.
them.
No, I don't hate them. I just think they're overrated.
I do think the fan base for the Colts doesn't exist outside of Indianapolis and me, so if that helps you. The Colts and the Texans in a game that could be sneaky good for Houston. I think Lovie Smith's Texans, albeit preseason, were insane defensively. Like, they were nasty. I was like, man, these guys who I actually want to play for this team for once. But I know what I've heard out of camp about Matt Ryan and the Colts and how much they love this guy already. I am of the mindset, and this one fell on my top 5 because it was such a big spread for week 1 on the road. And I think Colts are going to kill him. I think Matt Ryan and the Colts, I don't know if Matt Ryan's going to have a big-time game, obviously, because you obviously want the offensive focus on Jonathan Taylor. But I do believe the Colts will come out and show they are the better organization in this game.
100%. I think Lovie Smith was an awful hire for the Texans.
Wow.
And I love Lovie. I really do. But this game has passed him by. And I'm assuming he's a stopgap for maybe Sean Payton coming in next year.
Of course.
I'm not going to bet this because of my rule, but this is another one where I think 31-13 is like,
yes!
I mean, I think they're going to destroy them. And I love Davis Mills, and I'm curious to see this Dameon Pierce. I feel for – yeah, I mean, I love Marlon Mack, but that's not hard to do right now after coming off those injuries. But, yeah, I mean, I like Davis Mills. I feel for Brandon Cooks. I want to see Dameon Pierce, but the Colts, what the Colts need coming from, I mean, because our last taste of the Colts was them losing the final 2 games, to Vegas and Jacksonville to really knock themselves out of the playoffs. So what they really need is a punch in the face to shut up any person that's detracting. Because, I mean, look, you and Sammy are going to have overreaction Monday. I know you are. Like,
yes.
If the Colts win 31-13, not saying you're going to overreact, but you will. And they need that. That's exactly what they need. Like, they went and acquired Matt Ryan. A lot of people said, hey, Carson Wentz wasn't that bad. Well, the Indianapolis Colts said, yeah, Carson Wentz was that bad. Even though some people statistically disagree with that. They went out and got Matt Ryan. You got to beat the brakes off of this team. You have to. I mean, look, I don't see anything super positive. I know I said high praise about Davis Mills, but you're still head and shoulders better than the Texans. So, yeah, I would probably – this might be a spot where I just tease the Ravens and the Colts just to get wins.
I like it. Good for you, man. Good for you. You've seen the light.
I've seen the light. See, this is the overreaction I'm talking about. This is exactly the overreaction I'm talking about.
Those pesky Jaguars, speaking of the Devils, I believe they play a host the Commanders, or they are on the road?
It's in Washington.
Okay, good for Carson Wentz. The Commanders host the Jaguars here in Doug Peterson's debut. It is the Commanders 2.5-point favorites. The total's at 44. Aaron, I'm telling you, man, Jaguars are one of my dogs of the week, man, to just outright win. I really like the Jaguars in week 1.
Fair enough. This game is in my AM Drive 5, so I won't spew too much on it here. So this to me is like picking between wet poop and dry poop.
Yes, sir.
I don't have any interest in watching it, although I do have a bet on this game. Does the culture feel different in Jacksonville? I don't know. I haven't really heard anything. I mean, obviously it has to. Urban Meyer's tenure was just a disaster. Yeah. What are we going to see with Travis Etienne coming off a year-long injury? James Robinson, the safe option, I will probably not play in this game. So it's all Travis Etienne. Christian Kirk, who just signed a big, contract in the offseason. We're going to see how much they feel like they need to get him involved, which should be a lot, not only because he's on my fantasy team, but but let's flip on the other side and look at Carson Wentz, who, by all accounts, just really has this negative stigma to him. Like, he was kicked out of town the year that the Philadelphia Eagles went to the playoffs and lost in the first game. He went 27. What was his stat line? 27-4 or something like that. 27-6.
Yeah.
As far as statistics last year, but yeah, I mean, he just stinks. Like, as far as like, there's something stinky about him. Not he stinks as a quarterback, but there's a stench on him. So he's seeking basically redemption. I don't know if it's with this Commanders team. The pressure is all going to be on that defense. 2 years ago, they were phenomenal. Last year, they were not. I know that Chase Young's coming back off an injury. So this pick, I have a pick in my AM Drive 5, so I don't want to get too diving into one side or the other here.
Alrighty. And this is the best morning show ever. We are happy to tell you about WagerWire, who's building an easy-to-use sports betting marketplace. For the first time ever, you'll be able to buy and sell bets. WagerWire shows you your best bets in one portfolio by syncing with your favorite sports books. Enter your email at wagerwire.com to get early access and be entered to join a Week 3 WagerWire Live featuring Brett Favre, the Wrangler guy. No, I'm kidding. Legendary NFL quarterback Brett Favre. And you're not going to catch Aaron tonight, 7 Eastern. Yo, boys, I will be up and live and well for that Spaces, man.
And not only that, it's going to be the official preview spot for our Sunday night football games. On these Friday morning shows, we will not talk Sunday night football, even though it's Tampa Bay this week. But if you want our thoughts and our previews and maybe even our picks on Sunday night football, you're going to have to tune into that space. So, let's take a quick break here. Let's take 2 minutes, reset. I got to get some more water, and then we're going to talk about those late games.
Let's do it. We'll be right back. The AM Drive with Mike and Aaron might be the best morning show ever. If you love the show, shop the merchandise for $26 hoodies, $16 shirts, even $13 mugs. High quality swag for cheap because Mike and Aaron love the fans. The best morning show, the lowest price merch at amdrive.online.
This is Popple, the next generation business card. With just a tap, your Popple instantly shares your digital business card to both iPhone and Android devices. The best part? The other person doesn't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. To pop your info, tap your Popple to the top of an iPhone, the center of an Android, or just scan your in-app QR code. And just like that, all your info is saved to their phone. More connections, more leads, more sales. That's Popple. Download our free app and get your Popple today.
Aren't you the Vice Golf guy?
Yeah. You want an autograph?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering if the balls are any good.
The balls are amazing. You look like a Pro Plus guy.
I thought you'd never ask. It's actually better than my old ball.
And it's half the price.
Top performing golf ball, half the price. It's almost stealing.
Quit searching the globe and get your high-performing golf balls at vicegolf.com.
Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
All right, and welcome back here to the AM Drive. We are presented by Fanatics. Very simple. You want the best in merchandise, memorabilia, and apparel from all your favorite sports leagues, sports teams, and sports players. It's very simple. Go to mikeandaarondrive.com and click the F. Add to carts when you get there, times a million. Shop today for all the best. Free shipping on orders over $24, which is really easy to get to. I actually ordered some stuff last night for the upcoming NFL season as well, which is how I learned about the NIL jerseys. Those are pretty cool. I'm hoping that some of the more players, I was hoping Jordan Travis would be on there. I was going to get a Jordan Travis Florida State jersey, but he is not on there currently. But again, go to mikeandaarondrive.com, click the F, shop Fanatics, help out the show, help out the channel. And for that, we thank you.
That was a long time over here, just to let you know.
I think so.
The Kansas City Chiefs and the Arizona Cardinals, as we get to our late games against Sunday Night Football, is a Spaces exclusive on the weekend kickstart tonight at 7 Eastern. Chiefs are 6-point favorites against the Cardinals. It's Kyler Murray, who studies very well in the Cardinals. The total's at 53.5. Aaron, this one I believe is in my AM Drive 5, so I will reserve my rights to shut up right here.
This one is also in my AM Drive 5 too.
Ooh.
And full disclosure, in tonight's space, a lot of these later games are going to be the subject of the conversation. So we will get into them more, obviously, later tonight. But yeah, let's talk about this one real quick here. I did enjoy Cliff Kingsbury handing Kyler Murray the offensive coordinator reins in one of the preseason games. And promptly in 2 drives, I think they went 3 and out both times and got a grand total of like 4 yards of offense. Like, I'm hoping it probably won't, but I'm hoping that kind of humbles Kyler a little bit. He got his money. They're not the class of their division, but I still think, having DeAndre Hopkins come back in like mid-October for them is really a benefit.
Yeah.
And then of course on the flip side, all the negative attention in the NFC and the AFC West has been that the Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill. They're not as good as the rest of the division is caught up to them.
Oh yeah.
Juju's not Tyreek, but I'm curious to see what this complement of receivers can do. Like, I really wanted Mecole Hardman to really be the guy, and adding Juju, adding Scantling, drafting a guy in the second round, like, it really shows me that he probably is just not in their eyes, which is unfortunate. But yeah, this is going to be a really good game. Obviously, I think probably the game of the week here in week 1, as far as the non Sunday Night Football game, because I think that's the real big game. But anyways, this pick's also in my AM Drive 5, so I'm going to reserve it to the end here. But this one should be a good clash.
My game of the week is actually Raiders and Chargers.
Another good one.
The Chargers are 3.5-point favorites. The total's at 52. I will give you guys a bet for tonight, but I'm just going to say I expect fireworks like last year, like the end of last year. This game to me is going to end in some weird way, and I cannot wait for it. I can't wait to tell people where I'm leaning. Okay, it's not my Drive 5, but for the purpose of the spaces tonight, I'll reserve my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it obviously in the spaces, but I'm leaning on the over 52 in this game. I'm also leaning on the Chargers, as far as I know. I don't like that hook, because I feel like this could get dicey here. This game could be close. What do I make? Do I really want to be back in Josh McDaniels in his first game?
Nope. Probably
not. It's not a striking indictment on Josh McDaniels. I still think the Raiders are going to be fine. But I do feel like if there is a revenge game in the NFL, this is it.
Yep.
I mean, this is absolutely it. So yeah, I don't have a pick on this one, but I would be leaning the Chargers. However, my only caveat is that this stadium will probably be 60% Raider fans.
Just like last night was 60% Bills fans.
It's a Raider town. It might even be 80% Raiders fans. LA is a Raider town.
That's what they get for going there.
Agreed.
Packers Vikings. Is this the year for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings? Well, I'll tell people this. Aaron Rodgers has done it with less before, and the Vikings have a new coach. And you're only getting 1 point on the road here? Packers.
Yeah, this one's tough. Like, my heart really wants to take Minnesota at home in this game too, but you're right. Brand new coach. All these weapons to play with, though. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Jalen. I might be the only guy on the planet that thinks Jalen Reagor might get resurged. Like, he's not the number one guy. He's not the Vikings' first round pick, so they don't really care the previous situation here. But I think they got 3 bona fide receivers: Dalvin Cook, Madison. If they stay healthy, I think the Vikings get the first one here. Get Kevin off the schneid. This one's tough, though. I mean, you can't count out Aaron Rodgers, but
yep.
I think the Vikings might. I mean, the Vikings are 4-3-1 the last 4 seasons against the Packers. The only team to have a winning record against the Packers in the last 4 seasons.
Hear that?
Except the Bucks. You didn't let me finish.
Oh. Postseason doesn't count, Buccaneers fans. Okay, I'm kidding.
They beat him in the regular season too.
Brian Dable and his Jesus ability to resurrect Daniel Jones with Saquon Barkley and the Giants will take on Mike Vrabel and Derrick Henry and Malik Willis. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, Brian Tannehill and the Titans. Let's just say good thing the Titans have a defense. I think Titans by 6 or more is too easy.
I feel like we should have some sort of wager on this year that Malik Willis doesn't start a game due to benching of Ryan Tannehill. Injury.
I lost faith in that when I said Trey Lance would start the season and he didn't do squat.
I'm giving you the whole season.
Learn my lesson.
I'm giving you the entire season, not just week 1.
Nah.
This one's tough. Like, I think the Texans, it's another team that should just really run over the Giants here. I know there's new personnel with the Giants, new coach going on the road and going up against one of the top 5 coaches in the NFL. Like, I don't know. You got a healthy Derrick Henry. Nothing about this really bodes well for the Giants. I don't have a play in this one, but I'd probably lean Titans. Heck, I even might do a 3-team teaser. Titans win, Ravens win, Colts win.
Thank you.
That might be the one this week. Although that seems way too square.
It's hip to be square. Are you ready for it?
I am ready for it. The first rendition of the AM Drive 5. Well, the second rendition. Actually, we did AM Drive 5 last week, but the first one to include pro and college.
I'm up to 50 wins, by the way, in my career.
Good for you, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
How much money has that resulted in?
A couple of points on Action Network.
All right. So my AM Drive 5 here, my best bets of the week. We'll start in college. The UTSA Roadrunners, University of Texas San Antonio, going on the road to play Army. They're laying 2.5 points. I'm gonna take those 2.5 points. UTSA minus 2.5 over Army. Oklahoma and Kent State under 72.5, and that's just simply because I think Kent State gets maybe 3 if Oklahoma's nice. I see this game 58-10 at best. So I'm going to take the under 72.5 in that one. The Washington Commanders minus 2.5 over Jacksonville.
No!
I think Carson Wentz gets a win, gets a good feeling in Washington here, but ultimately it's going to be a tough season for them. Yeah. The New England Patriots plus 3.5 going on the road over Miami. And then Arizona and Kansas City, I'm taking the home dog, Arizona plus 6. I think they also might even get a win in that game.
Well, I disagree. University of Alabama, Birmingham Flames. I'm going to take minus 6.5.
They're not the Flames.
I lied. The Dragons. Or the Blazers. Maybe. I did that last year with the Dragon thing. I'm thinking of the Liberty Flames because that's who they're playing, okay? It's a kingdom battle right here. I'm going minus 6.5 against Liberty. Georgia Southern. What's up, Statesboro?
Wait, that game's up to 6.5?
That's my
UAB?
check, yeah.
Wow. That line keeps going up and up.
This line keeps going up and up as well, and I think Scott Frost is in for a bad awakening. Georgia Southern plus 23.5 against Nebraska. Nebraska. How about that? Also, Ravens. I'll take minus 7.5 against the Jets. Saints, Falcons under 43. And I reserve my right to use the pick 'em. Panthers over the Browns. You're welcome. It used to be Chiefs. But
I thought you had the Chiefs in it. You skipped talking about them because they were in your...
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm on the Cardinals?
No. I knew you were on the Cardinals yesterday when you teased that crap.
That's true. Fair enough. So, all right. Don't forget to join us this tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on our Twitter at AM Drive TV. Our first official Spaces.
Woo!
It's going to be presented by WagerWire, but until then, you can obviously follow us on Twitter at AM Drive TV, on Facebook, and on Instagram. And, of course, go to YouTube and search AM Drive with Mike and Aaron. Of course, subscribe there. Or you can just go to Mike and Aaron Drive, and it's all right there for you. MikeandAaronDrive.com. Support the sponsors, support the channel. And of course, we'll see you guys if we see you at the Spaces. If we don't see you at the Spaces, we'll see you guys on Monday. Mike will be back on an Action Monday with Sammy Action himself. Of course, I think it's going to be Overreaction Monday because Mike just can't keep it in his pants. So
Yes.
until then, enjoy the weekend. Hope to see you on the Spaces. And as always,